taking the situation where the digitalization is much more important, much more required. So the main key areas for the businesses to focus, first being the key business data. Second, changing business landscape from being the office space, the prime area of work, to being it changed to a different sector like working from home, working remote capabilities. Third is the importance and need for automation in the current digital era, and how important it is for a business to be in a connected environment. So let us quickly take us through all of these important topics and the agenda of the session. So, firstly, understanding global markets are evolving. They're adopting the technology to enable the remote and connected business environment. You're already using some automation tools in your personal life. Similar way, it is you're also mainly using tools, certain digital tools to benefit your business. So, which is the stressing the importance of adopting the technology to improve and move the business sectors. Firstly, automation can benefit the businesses to have a very increased service, which will help you provide a better commitment, a better delivery to your end users. Not only that, it also plays an important role to what extent the business has a connected environment which allows for a smooth ease of day-to-day transactions, smooth ease of the flow of the company. So we'll look at the importance as to why the automation is required. Then we will switch to the importance of cash flow management in a company, especially considering the current cash crunch in the market, current difficulties that is caused due to the pandemic. Third is the outstanding management, how the key role is being played by the automated tools in terms of managing your cash flow as well as your outstanding. The most important for the companies, the owners specifically, which is the MIS reports, and how it will help the businesses in making the key business decisions. And lastly, the importance of remote capabilities. But first, you guys might be wondering as to what Tally is and what's new with the latest Tally Prime. So the key anchors that has been implemented in the Tally Prime. The first is making and ensuring any person with a basic computer knowledge, with a basic accounting knowledge, is quickly able to get started with the account, started running the transactions, and without any much time that is being consumed or without any additional expertized training. Second is the greater flexibility. So simplicity in the product, easiness to use the product, and the flexibility has always been the key pillars of Tally, which we intend to carry forward with Tally Prime as well. Third is much required the fresh look and feel that has been given, which makes the users much more easy and much more flexible to use the product in the long runs. So whenever the accountants, whenever the data entry person is sitting in front of the system or working on the product for a long time, it is quite easy on the eyes and very simple and very elegant in terms of usage. So as you can see here, there are a lot of changes, there are a lot of enhancements and lot of improvements that have been put into the product. We will take a look at the key important aspects of the product that is going to ease and help the small and business sectors in terms of automated implements. Let us look at why the automation is required. So without stressing the importance of automation, it is quite clear that the automation is much more required. Adopting technology is one of the prime time that we are living in this current year, where the automation is very much important for all businesses to adapt. The key importance of that is, yes, definitely the accuracy that is given by the system and accuracy that is given when a manual things are being maintained. It's very clear that the automation is much more accurate, the very clear picture on certain aspects of the businesses, mainly the accounts, mainly transactions, mainly the figures that has to be reflected in the reports. Secondly, the speed of completion. So the time taken to provide the reports, the time taken to conduct the business transactions, the time taken to assess the entire aspects of the business, it's very, very high in terms of an automated setup compared to a manual. Third is the reduced overall cost. So definitely in terms of the manpower that is required to maintain each and every transactions, maintain each and every system in place, order processing, it is very tedious, and also it becomes much more difficult and much more cost incurring process. In case with system in place, definitely it's going to play a key role in reducing overall cost and in ensuring a timely completion of things with accuracy. Fourthly, is definitely the automated reporting. We all know that in terms of where a business is maintaining, it reporting its transactions, its books of accounts in Excel sheets or even manual books of accounts, it is very difficult to obtain the uh, very difficult to obtain the reporting aspect immediately, where the person has to collate, a time has to be taken to ensure all the reports are put together, all the transactions are taken into account, certain formulas are input in the Excel sheets. But when it comes to having a system dedicated for this purpose, definitely the time taken for generating your reports, assessing your business becomes much, much more faster and simpler. Lastly, yes, staying compliant. We all know that Bahrain has already come up with VAT since more than 2 years now. With other GCC countries also implemented VAT. So staying compliant is very important at this point of time, where the penalties are very huge. And with Tally already has launched more than four uh, versions and four updates on the VAT GCC compliance. Second is now looking at the importance of cash flow management. So yes, cash flow is literally a bloodline for the business. So not only that it gives you a track of how much money the business is making or how much money is coming into the business, but also it needs to be tracked as to how much money is going out of the business in terms of your expenses, in terms of your purchases, all that. A clear, accurate trend analysis of cash inflow and outflow needs to be provided, which is very important. Second is definitely the forecasting of cash inflows and outflows for the foreseeable future for certain time period. Identifying the net inflow of the business and plan. So taking a look at the tally, as you can see, you can see the inflow where month-wise the cash income has been mentioned. You can see that. Along with this, you're also able to see the outflow, the cash that is sent out or being spent in the business month on month. And then you also can see the net flow of the business. So it is very important in terms of the cash flow, especially in SMEs. It is important to predict how much funds will be available just in case if the business wants to identify and expand it, and also needs to see as to how to manage the funds in terms of covering your debtors, paying your salaries, paying your employee salaries, and also making sure that your suppliers are paid on time. You can see here in the month of Jan, we have an inflow of around 50,570 dirhams. And also we also have an outflow of around 1,034. So it overall January has a very positive net flow of the cash, where you can see the expenses are very low, but the income is quite high. And then you get the net flow of 49,536. Month of February was a lockdown and a company was shut down, not much could happen. If you see the month of March, though we have a good inflow of cash, which is around 1,82,760, we also have a reasonable expenses and outflow of cash, which is 1,99,610, which gives us a negative flow of the cash. So this will clearly show you a pictorial as well as a graphical presentation as to how your inflow has been against your outflow each month on month. This will help the businesses to identify the cash that remains with them or the cash that is going to come into the business and how they can manage for the foreseeable feature on the expenses as well as the business sustenance. Not only the month-on-month cash flow projection, but also you get an in-depth cash flow projection, including your balances, including your receivables, including your payables. If you see in the month of Jan, as you can see here, the net balance, that is your existing cash in hand, maybe it could be in bank or different banks, and also the ones that are received from your customers against the payables. You see a positive outlook and a trend that has been conducted here. You can see for the month of Jan, you can see a receivable even in the uh, cash in bank, cash at bank and cash in hand are quite high, which will help you to sustain the business. But if you continue to see the progress here, the receivables are quite very less, which does give an alarm to the company to strategize and increase that aspect of the business. Thirdly, the important one, which is the outstanding management. When it comes to the automated outstanding management, definitely in terms where our medium businesses are managing this particular outstanding through Excel sheets, through manual books of record, it is very difficult to track the credit period. It is difficult to track the partial outstanding from your customers as well as the payables that need to be made from your end to your suppliers. So an automatic system in place will definitely help you to realize the sale into cash very quickly. Also, it will give you a clear picture and accurate trend and what is the cash inflow of your business. It will definitely help you to identify those recoverables which have crossed the due date, which you have given a credit period of, let's say, for example, for certain customers, you might have given credit period for 30 days, certain customers for 45 days, certain customers for 120 days. So with if you have an automated system in place, it will definitely help you to identify those which have crossed the due date, which are yet to cross the due date, so that you follow with the customer timely. If necessary, you are going to provide the reminders to them and also the notice. Yes, with the automated system in place, I need not stress on this, but definitely you do get the internal allocation and controls to manage the credit based upon the credibility of the supplier as well as your customers. So looking at Tally here, you can see a list of customers of ours, like for example, Al Amin Building Material. So here for them, we are given a credit limit of, let's say, 10,000. And the credit period that we are going to give them is 30 days. But if you see the fourth supplier, which is Al Salama Construction, let's say these customers are they associated from a long time with us and they have a really good credibility. So in this case, we are giving them a credit limit of 18,000, and then the credit period given to them is 90 days. So likewise, even for your customers as well as your suppliers, you can specify the credit limit the company based upon the different ability of customers and suppliers, and also the relationship that the business has been dealing with them from over a period of time. So you have the option to mention the credit period as well as credit limit each customer as well as your supplier wise. And then while you are recording, let's say, for example, while you go to the report to check the receivables, it will also give you a picture as to what are the suppliers or what are the customers that owe you the money, how long it's been due by. You can see here, Al Amin Building Material, there is a bill or there is an invoice which is due for more than a year, 366 days. So definitely this particular report will help the businesses or will help the financial managers to take a quick call and strategize as to how to recover this time. Maybe a financial manager could implement some bargain with them or could give certain discount on this bill to recover the rest of the amount. Not only this, as we mentioned on the credit limit, while you're recording a transaction, as you can see here for Al Amin Building Material, right below the company name, you can see the current balance as well as the credit limit. So for them, the credit limit it is 10,000 BD. That's it. While you're recording a transaction, even by mistake or by human error, if you give credit limit for more, let's say 10,000 BD, So automatically the T will give you a error saying that the credit allowed for Al-Amin building material is only 10,000 and we are exceeding it. So this will allow the users, this will prevent the users from making any mistake or or reaching over limit to their customers. Next important aspect of the business is definitely the MS reporting, which gives you a clear picture on the business, which helps you in making a better decisions. Firstly, MS reports play a definitely a vital role in terms of assessing the performance of the organization. It not only allows to assess performance of the organization, but also helps you in terms of taking a better and faster decision with the help of reports. They aid in business growth. Definitely, if you have the right figures of the business, the right business reports which give you the help and assist you. So definitely you can take a call as to what are the strategies working in the business and what is not working. And definitely it will allow you to take a smart and timely decision which will help you the business. So looking at the first MIS report, which is the balance sheet. Balance sheet gives you a snapshot of the financial health of the business. Also point out what are those aspects which provide you the liquidity and what is the current liquidity of the company. And also it will help you assess the efficiency as to what extent the business is utilizing the available assets to generate the maximum revenue possible. Then we also have a ratio analysis which will help you understand the trend line and predict the future financial performance of the company. It also helps you give you a competitive advantage by assessing the strengths and weakness of your company. Looking at the balance sheet in time, as you can see on screen, it gives you two different picture as what are the liabilities and what are the assets along with their chart of accounts, which is the liabilities, duties and taxes, creditors, salary. So this a business can clearly assess the liquidity level of the company, what are the assets that are being utilized to the maximum, and what are those areas or what are the liabilities areas which needs to be recoverable or payable on time, and it assess where the business funds are slipping. Not only the regular balance sheet, but also in Tally, you have the option where you can get a comparative balance sheet between a time period. Let's say, for example, as a business owner, you want to see the performance of the company by comparing the current quarter balance sheet to the previous quarter. So definitely you can do that with the help of Tally. Not only that, if you are willing to compare the balance sheet against the previous year to the current year, even that can be achieved as you can see on the screen. So this will help assess the performance of a company over a period of time. Next, one of the most important report is definitely the sales register, which will help you to track in terms of the company's turnover and the sales that has been achieved. As you can see on the screen, a month-wise projection along with the bar graph is given, where you can track the month-to-month that has been provided by the company that has been happening and what that can be seen for next couple of months. And definitely, Tally has one feature which you can utilize, assess each transaction wise as to what gross profit that a company is generating. As you can see here, the first transaction, the transaction value is quite high, which is 6,75,000 dirhams, where the cost is 1,49,000 dirhams. The gross profit that is being generated is 76.76 percentage. The second transaction, which is though it is less in terms of transaction value and even the cost, but the profit percentage that we generated is a bit high by 3%. So in Tally, you will be able to generate and assess each transaction wise what is the cost that has been incurred and what is the gross revenue that you're able to generate and what is the gross profit each transaction or project is. Next, I was mentioning the importance of ratio analysis, which will help you to assess the trend line of the business. So I can see this, I can confidently say this is one of the most powerful as reporting, which will help the businesses to assess their trend line and also look into the very detailed information of the business by comparing the different, let's say, ratio, considering the operation cost of the business, what is the return on investment, that is ROI, and what is the working capital turnover in the company, what is the stock in hand, what is the net profit, what is the sales account, what is the data that is due till date, and what is the data that is due till date. So definitely ratio analysis can be utilized to a great length in terms of assessing your business. And then one of the most important, especially in terms of inventory, is the stock summary. So where in a single report, the users will be able to view as to is the opening stock, each item wise, group wise, and then what is the total inward of the product, what is the total outward of the product, and the current closing balances. In addition to this, you all have flexibility into Tally to view the age analysis, the stock aging analysis. So you can provide your own aging days, like for example, 0 to 90, 90 to 180 days, 180 to let's say 260. So you can provide your own aging period, which will allow you to track and is the time taken for each product to move out of your warehouse, or what is the products that are slow moving, what are the products that are taking much more time in terms of their movement. Definitely for group analysis, which will provide you the detailed group-wise analysis for products. Next is the remote capabilities. Yes, considering the current situation that has been the pandemic time from 2020 onwards, the adapting the remote capabilities and adapting automated technology is more important than ever. So discussing on the seamless remote capabilities that Tally has to provide, definitely uh, this is the remote access. So wherever you are, you might be on the move, you might be on a vacation, you might be on traveling, or you might be even opting to work from home. So in this situation, remote access capability of Tally provides a greater lens of flexibility in terms of working from wherever you are on the move. Second is reports on browser. So definitely this is one of the very important feature that has been implemented, especially during the time of 2020, to help business owners obtain the real-time business reports in their mobile phones or in their tablets. Is the on-demand synchronization. So in cases where business is scattered and spread across a region, could be in different countries or could be in different location of Bangladesh, could be, say for example, your main office is in Manama, then you have your branch in C, then you have another outlet spread in, etc. A centralized, connected environment and data is very important for the business. So with the help of on-demand synchronization, a centralized, connected, real-time, consolidated report can obtain. So in terms of safety and security, the risk of data definitely remains with all the time since they are on-premise. And the kind of security that the Tally has is 128 match security to ensure a safe data transfer over the internet. Definitely, it has an encrypted format which using an algorithm which is decrypted only by your Tally Prime and not by any third party software or third party systems. So guys, with that, I think we have arrived at a place where we can move into the question and answers. If you have any question related to the Tally or related to the SMBs, please do mention so we can address it on all the topics that we have covered and discussed. Okay, we have a question from Mr. Asibinju. Can you please demonstrate the mobile report generation? So, sir, what happens in Tally is, let's say, for example, you have a system that is in your office, and be connected to internet at all time. So once it is up and running, the system is connected to internet, we will have a separate ID and password that will be given to you, right? So simply have to go into your mobile phone, open your browser, maybe Chrome or Safari. Just open the browser. You have to go to talysolutions.com, enter your specific email, password that is given to you. So the moment you enter your credentials, automatically your company will start processing over there, and which will allow you to all the reports that are forwarded in the background. I hope this helps. If I have further questions or doubts, you can definitely forward it in chat box. And you can definitely get in touch with our authorized ID partners and further help configure your system in the mobile reports. So guys, if you have any question, you can simply unmute yourself and ask. So you can simply mention in the box of your console panel. Okay, sir, you've asked how on mobile phones I'm not able to share an introspect and audio, but we just get in touch with Apache post this session. Definitely be more than happy. We do have a video of the session and we will share the link of that. Sure, you can get in touch with us.